Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. There's a new wave of G.I. Joe Classified Series action figures this year, and I'm really very excited with the coming action figures and having them on hand and reviewing them. But for the meantime, let us review a 3.75-inch classic. And I hope that G.I. Joe Classified Series would also make a figure of this G.I. Joe Hit and Run in 6-inch version. But in this video, we're going to upsize this action figure not just to 3.75-inch but to a 1:6 scale or a 12-inch model. But before that, let us first look at the base figure where I built my custom figure on. When I hear the phrase Little Green Men, I always think about this G.I. Joe Hit and Run action figure and how many little green men were lost in the grass at school or possibly mowed down by our maintenance guys at school, because when you lose this action figure, you drop this on grass or it fell out of your pocket or your bag, and it is just hard to find with that really heavy camouflage pattern. But wow, oh wow, when you first take a look at this figure, especially on the first time that I laid my eyes on this as a kid, I really wanted it. But it was just going to be later on in life that I'm going to own this action figure as pre-loved, and now I'm going to build my own 1:6 scale custom of Hit and Run. So basically, what do we have on this figure? He has full camouflage paint on his face, on his uniform, on his forearms, on his hands, and actually just the whole build of the body is all green and black. So basically, this trooper is ready to go on a jungle attack and not be discovered easily. The only drawback is he has red goggles on. But did it matter when we were kids? We really did not know that was a easy target or a fix on target if you have red goggles on top of your helmet, but it just looks so cool. Now, the accessories that come with this figure is this weapon. So way back then, I really didn't know anything about rifles or pistols or even how to manipulate them. So when I take a look at this, I would always associate this with the M16 rifle family. So I always thought that this was an M16, but later on I would realize that this is a 9mm conversion of a 5.56 rifle. Now, the next item that we're going to have on hand are climbing equipment. So this Joe has the capacity or ability to scale mountains or drop from mountains. So basically, we have a draw line and it's quite long. And we have a retaining system on an edge of a cliff or a mountain, and he could rappel down or climb up. And we also have a device on the bag that could possibly just recoil all the length of the climbing rope that he has on. And if he ever gets stuck on the side of a mountain, he could cut himself free with a knife. So really cool rendition of a action figure by G.I. Joe. So with the basic pattern on the uniform, I think this is based on a battle dress uniform pattern. We also have very high combat boots on him, and he has a rappelling equipment on his body. So on his thighs, on around his waist, and around his torso. So as you could see, we even have a retention system over here for where he could possibly just wrap around a rope or tie a carabiner to his waist. So really cool looking action figure. And now it's time to render this in 1:6 or 12 inch. Presenting my 1:6 scale custom G.I. Joe Hit and Run action figure. This 12-inch action figure or 1:6 scale version of Hit and Run actually is also an action figure because the base body of this 1:6 scale figure has multiple points of articulation. So should I wish that to pose this action figure a certain way, it is possible. So just like its 3.75-inch version, I just upsized this guy into this. So all of the aspects of this little guy is in this bigger version of him. So let's start with the build. So the head has a really heavy green helmet on him with the red goggles. Now the helmet also is oversized, just like the original version that is an oversized helmet. So it covers majority of the head, exposing a little bit of the face. The face is heavily painted with green and black, heavy camouflage pattern, just like the original one. As for the uniform, we have a battle dress inspired pattern. This is used by the French military. This is their old woodland pattern. Now they have replaced it with a new one, but this is similar to the pattern that is on this figure. And instead of having the forearm exposed with a non-gloved hand, which this action figure has, I instead rolled down the sleeve and put on gloves on this figure because of course he's going to climb down mountains or go up mountains or really literally go mountain climbing with this equipment just like the old one. So he does not have any gloves on. So in my 12-inch version, I put gloves on this figure. We also, instead of having a bag with all of the rope in it, I just exposed the rope with the same piece of gear that could possibly be on the original figure, except for the bag, of course. Now, the knife is situated on the person of this action figure. So, let's locate the knife. Instead of having the knife on the bag, the knife is hanging on the belt of this action figure. So we have the knife over here with some pouches to hold climbing equipment or ammunition. And instead of having that bag, he has a rope that is secured by a carabiner and it is slung to the side of the belt this way. And of course on the back we still have pouches, and of course we have a water bottle. If you're going to get stuck on the side of the mountain, it's a bad idea to be drop dead thirsty. So he has water on him. Now as for the boots, just like the original 3.75-inch version, those are black high boots. And as for the weapons, we have grenades, 2 grenades on the side of, hanging on the side of the climbing equipment of this Hit and Run action figure, just like the original one, we have 2 grenades over here. And as for the weapon, instead of having a M16 or a AR-15 variant converted into a 9mm submachine gun, let's just go instead the route of an H&K 9mm submachine gun with a flash suppressor and a light with full buttstock and a sling attached to the weapon. So that is the build of this hit-and-run action figure inspired by this smaller guy. So let's go to the photos and the video shots.